Well, thank you, Shawn Williams, for joining us today. So, Shawn is an actor, writer, teacher. Okay, and today we're going to talk about Othello.
Yes.
Okay,
Acting teacher to just to clarify.
acting teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, for how did you fall in love with Shakespeare or get into Shakespeare?
Um, so I used to go to a performing arts school when I was from fourth through 12th grade. And one of my teachers, Miss Harvey, may she rest in peace. She was one of my favorite teachers. And the way I fell in love with Shakespeare is kind of ironic in the sense that um, the way it was introduced, it was almost introduced to us as if we would never understand it. And I'm pretty sure she was using reverse psychology on us. I don't think everyone was aware of that, but I felt like, I later understood that that's what it was. But because it was introduced in a way that, oh, you'll never understand, like you won't like this and all that. That's what made me go, no, 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 I'm gonna understand it. I don't know if I was thinking at the time that I would love it, but I was definitely like, well, this is something that I'm going to go after and attack just because someone is telling me that I can't do it. And again, I loved her. And I'm pretty sure that that was a way to get us to open our minds a little bit because so many people, I feel, um, aren't necessarily scared of Shakespeare, but they think I'll never understand it. So they don't allow themselves to get into it. So that's how I that was my introduction to Shakespeare. And then after that, I realized that I really enjoyed the characters, the plays, um, and it's more understandable and relatable than people are aware of, I think.
Could you talk a little bit about that? How Shakespeare is more relatable than people think to today's world, to today's people.
Yeah, because I mean it's the same stuff we talk about every day: sex, greed, betrayal, deceit, more sex, more greed, more betrayal, love, um, jealousy. Like it's the the same stuff over and over. And while the language may be heightened, the subject matter is very common. And I think because of the language, though, a lot of people again don't allow themselves to realize, oh, this is stuff that's going on in my life, or someone that I know close to me, they have the same situation going on. Maybe not to that extreme, of course, depending on which story we're talking about, but it's all stuff that still goes on today. So
Yeah, yeah. Same difficulties, qualities,
yeah,
issues.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even the jokes, a lot of the jokes, the sex jokes, the banter that goes on between friends, or the issues that couples have.
Hmm.
It's all still happening.
Yeah. And you mentioned the heightened language. Did it take you time to become comfortable with the language? And how did you become comfortable with the language?
Of course, yeah, it definitely takes time. Till this day, I still read some things, and I have to go over it again. Even though I've been acting for years and teaching Shakespeare for years now, I still have there are certain things that I have to go back over. But I think over time, you get more comfortable with. It's just like any language, I believe. Like you start to understand the way things are kind of pieced together, and the flow of it. Um, and then it becomes natural where you don't even have to think about it too much.
Hmm.
Like I said, there's still things that I have to look up sometimes. So like what
Oh
the
yeah,
hell right here?
yeah,
But that's just like with any language, I think.
yeah. And do you use any other resources to help you with the language or help you with the play, with understanding the play?
Oh, of course. So the the easiest tool nowadays is Google, to be honest. And there's many uh, Shakespeare websites that I use, but also I have the lexicon and things like that that I use. But mostly, to be honest, a lot of times it'll be easier to Google and then to go in to do my own research into the actual text. Um, but yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Nothing fancy about that other than
Right.
Google.
Yeah. Many resources are available either through the computer or through other books or through
Yeah,
other
of course.
dictionaries.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Othello. Can you talk a little bit about Othello and who Othello is?
Yes. To me, or in just in general.
Both.
Okay. Well, I'll start with for me, the reason why Othello is so compelling is because um, I feel like on the outside, he's like um, it's supposed to be one of the models, I guess, for manhood, like bravery, and he's strong, he's smart, and he has all of these great qualities. And yet inside, as the play progresses, we get to see that he's much more fragile, uh, much more insecure, and flawed than he lets on, or that, or I guess other people are privy to. Um, and and for me, that's what makes it such a cool character, is because we're all layered. Like, it's never just this one thing. And perception, other people's perception, isn't always our truth or reality. So I feel like this, I think Shakespeare does that with a lot of his characters, obviously, but I feel like Othello is one that really kind of displays that. Like that, you look one way, and then there's so much else. There's so much other stuff going on inside. So,
Mhm.
um, and in terms of just the way, again, going to the extreme of all of these flaws that we deal with as humans, I think Othello goes. It shows that there's a thin line between uh, the idea of love, and also how that can love and hate isn't really what I was going to say. I was just saying I was thinking about the fact that he loves his wife so much that he's willing to go to the extreme of taking her own life, which is, you know unimaginable in my eyes. But at the same time, it's something that unfortunately happens all the time. People can go that far, they cross over, where they think, I love this person so much that I don't want anyone else to have them. uh, it's just showing, again, the extreme of what we're capable of as humans.
Yeah. Yeah. And can you talk a little bit about his wife Desdemona and who she is?
Yeah, so Desdemona. So the way it's written is Othello is a black man, a black Moor, and again, just going back then and showing the dynamics between white and black, I thought was brilliant, in the sense of that's something that was today is that's neither here nor there. But back then, in a racial relationship like that, in terms of status as well, not just race, was a big deal. And the fact that Desdemona is white and Othello is black, uh, it's like one of those taboo things, and they had to elope. They eloped um, against her father's will, and against Desdemona's father's will, and it was one of those things where she really loves she genuine I believe she genuinely loves Othello, despite what others around her believe or make Othello believe. Um, and
Um,
I thought for a second.
and then through time and through their conversations and Othello relates a lot of his history, and through his history and through his suffering in that history, she kind of falls in love, and she kind of falls in love with the
Yeah,
inner man as well, with the inner man of
yeah.
Othello.
I think it's because of who Othello is, and everything that he's been through, is why Desdemona is really attracted to him. And it's all of those qualities that we kind of see crumble as the play progresses, like those qualities of strength and triumph and him being his own person. All of those are kind of stripped away little by little as he allows himself to, fall victim of Iago's plot, and worries too much about ego and how he's perceived um, with others rather than focusing on his relationship and the bond with Desdemona.
Mhm. Do you think Shakespeare, as you mentioned, he's a Moor, and he's placed in Venice, eventually Cyprus, but why do you think he places a foreigner? Why does he have Othello? Uh, why does he place Othello in Venice, do you think?
I think I think it's a couple of things. I think one is to show again the I think it's to show the bravery and the obstacles that come along with who Othello is and where he is, and then also the idea that he's held in such a high regard amongst people that probably would not normally see him as such in terms of his status and who he is as a person. Um, I think that's part of it. Also, that's a good question. I think it's yeah, I think it's to place him in the most uncomfortable environment possible in terms of like everything that he has to deal with, um, and that idea again of how he's perceived, him trying his best to keep this image up. Um, that's a
As
really good question.
as the brave man, as the soldier, as the
Yeah, as the warrior, as the one that there's no chinks in his armor, where we know obviously that's not the case at all.
Mhm. Mhm.